Everyone doing? Uh, I'm the type of person that begins with the end in mind. So first, let me say, thank you for letting me come to your home and speak on what I'm very passionate about. And I hope that even if you have one takeaway based off of what I'll talk about, it's great. Now, this topic, a lot of people really don't talk about it. So a lot of the takeaways based off of my experiences working in the professional realm. First, my name is Eric B. Horn. I'm the founder of Eric B. Horn Incorporated. Can everyone see? Yes. A personal professional development firm in Chicago. I'm also the author of the book, How Professional Is Your Development, which is a self-development guide for college graduates on how to have a lasting career. Once we graduated, especially for me, once I graduated, the only thing I knew about was books and theory, no real world experience. So I had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but I'm grateful for the downs, and the book basically explains all of that. Also, I'm a member of the Chicago chapter of the Chicago Urban League, which is the Metro Board. So once again, I feel like this is a home away from home, which I thought you had a question. A home away from home, which I definitely appreciate you guys coming. Also, a child of God, I'm a husband, I'm a father. Based off of this presentation, a lot of people don't think I'm the next one, which is an introvert, but I'm very heavily introverted. And let me just say this, introverted does not mean shy. It's two different spectrums. I get my energy by being by myself, and then I utilize that energy by having presentations like this. And for the next 45 minutes, I'll cover the 5 ways to avoid a mid-career crisis. And to be more transparent, a mid-career crisis is when you first start out of a job or just out of college, and once you receive a job, you're trending up. You have a lot of energy because you're new to the company or the industry or whatever the case may be, but then it gets to a point where you start to plateau, and it feels like you are just doing the same thing over and over again at your job. You're not growing. You get to the point where you start to question, am I even in the industry that I want to be in? All of these questions start to come into play. So this usually happens maybe between 5 and 7 years within their career. For me, it happened in 4 years. And when I talk about my story, I'll give you a more deeper dive on what specifically happened. So, a little housekeeping rules. Please use your cell phones and electronic devices. Pretty sure you guys did that already, so I definitely appreciate it. I love Q&A, so if you do have any questions, and I hope you do, I have a segment just strictly for Q&A. So if anything comes up, just definitely write it down and ask me, engage me. I'm a very open person. Don't feel like you gotta not ask me a question. There are no stupid questions. The only stupid thing you could do is not ask the question in the first place. So let me make that clear. And also, from a social media standpoint, any pictures or any quotes that you hear or questions or whatever, you can use this hashtag EPHMCC. Okay, even before we get into the depths of the presentation, I have 2 open-ended questions. First, how many people in this room want to advance in their career? Okay, now the same individuals that raise their hand, how many people want to advance in their career, but at this point, they don't know how? They feel like they're stuck. I feel I'm still chugging along. Even though I'm up here explaining this stuff to you guys, I'm still on the grind and I'm still bumping my head every single day. So I don't want you to think I'm so far up, I have all the answers. I don't. I come across problems every single day with my career, with my business, but one of the things that I do, and I'm still learning to do, is I just put my head down and just figure it out, as opposed to just sitting on the problem. Because we all know, regardless if it's a career problem or a difficult conversation to have, the longer you sit on it, the bigger it gets. You might as well just try to do what you have to do to knock the problem out. It may be difficult, practice, do whatever you need to do. Use some of the resources that I'll talk about today to get to the point where you see the challenge, you conquer the challenge so you can move on. Because any challenges that you deal with in your career is just a setup, and it's a tool that you're going to use for the next level of your career. What got you at your current point in your career won't get you to the next level. Let me be very, very clear when I say that. It's not knocking anyone in this room, but we all know that there are certain levels when it comes to your career, even from an entrepreneurial standpoint. So the tools that you learn from one perspective, you need to incorporate that to the next, but you always need to keep learning, keep growing, keep striving. Nobody really, I've never seen a successful CEO or a business owner who stops learning. You have business owners even to this day that reads 2, 3, 4 books at a time because they still want to grow. So if Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are still reading, and I know that they're billionaires, you better believe I have my head in a book every single day. So, my story. Let me give you the fast track version of it. I graduated from Chicago State University in 2003. I'm showing my age. But the time that I graduated, it took me a year and a half to find my first job, which was the first wake-up call. Because with me being we all know about IT guys, right? How, open and loving they are and things of that nature, right? No, it's the total opposite. We're arrogant, we're very, very rude type individuals. I was the same way. But when I graduated and it took me a year to find my first job, that really, really humbled me to the point where it showed that regardless of the grades that I got, and regardless of the experience, whether it's internships or just making money on the side, fixing computers or whatever the case may be, if you are not prepared for corporate America or the nonprofit sector, it would be very, very difficult. And being prepared means more than just, okay, I got a 4.0. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Once again, if you are currently in school, still strive for those grades, but you have to realize that once you graduate, it's a new world. It's like the show, it's a different world. So you definitely need to have more soft skills than hard skills when it comes to navigating in corporate America. Just navigating in corporate America is a skill within itself. And you would want to have tools and learn things from the very beginning as opposed to learning the hard lessons. Everybody in this room understands when I say learning the hard lessons. The stuff that you didn't see it coming out of any way, shape, or form, but you were still held responsible or accountable for it. I mean, I've had so many of those stories that got to a point where the stress level goes through the roof. But, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, all skills that you want to learn to advance, they have tools out there so you can learn. So I don't want you to think, okay, if you're an accountant, you need to be a CPA to earn this type of position. There are tools out there where you can learn all of this stuff to get to that particular level. And with the web and all these other resources, the only way that you won't be able to find the information is to advance if you stop yourself or if you're lazy and you don't want to put forth the time, effort, and energy. Does everybody understand that? Cool. Words of wisdom. This is near and dear to me. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. Everybody wants to be successful. Only a small amount of people want to put in the work. Let me say that again, because my mentor told me that. Everybody wants to be successful, but only a small amount of people want to put in the work. There's nothing wrong with rolling up your sleeves and saying, I'm going to outwork this person. Because I firmly believe, only thing I have is a bachelor's degree, but I know for a fact that I can run circles around people who have MBAs, just based off of my experience and just based off of what I know. It's the will and the determination to get to the point where you want to get to. Does everybody understand that? Mm-hmm. All right. So, the first piece is knowing what's important to you. And what I mean by that is, what do you really want to do in your career? What do you want to attain? Don't BS yourself and just say, hey, I want to be a CEO. Let's drill down and be very, very specific about what you want to do. Do you want to be an innovator? Do you want to be a game changer? Or do you want to be the person behind the pack? And each position is very, very honest. I don't want you to say, I would rather hear you say, I don't aspire to be a manager or an executive. Excuse me. I would rather have you tell me that because at least you're being honest with yourself as opposed to me sitting in front of you and quote unquote pressuring you to say, hey, aim for something greater. If you don't want that, you don't want that. If that's not important to you, say that. But at the same time, do not, if that is important to you, what type of energy and effort are you putting into it? What people say and what people do are two totally different things. People always say they want to be a millionaire or they want to be the best that they want to do, but are they putting forth the time, effort, and energy? And that goes into the piece of